Make sure that you are setting a precedent that you will be able to maintain on even your like worst days. And like that just means say you are starting a new job, right? And you want to make a good impression, so you're like overselling yourself in some way, or you're like excited about the like prospect of starting something new, so you're like, oh yeah, I'm willing to put in this many hours, and I can do all of these tasks or whatever, you know what I mean? It's sort of like, or if you want to put it in sort of like relationship terms, say you're getting to know somebody and you want them to view you in a certain way, right? So um you could be making a lot of like promises and say like, oh, if we were together, I would like, bring you flowers every single day, and I would like I don't know, hand do the like bouquet myself, and I would cook for you every single day. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you want to make a good impression and you want them to like pick you or choose you in some way, and it's not about being a pick me or anything like that. It's just um wanting to give somebody an idea of like your highest potential and like the way that you could theoretically show up within this circumstance, like on your best day. But there's something about like, you know just because you are a great cook, okay? So say like, you're starting to be in a relationship with someone and you like, want to cook for them, and maybe you're excited to and you want to do that. You're not going to feel like cooking for them every single day. And also, just because you can cook and you are a good cook, do you really want that to be like your thing or your job in that relationship? Like, you need to be more like, I don't know, setting some sort of like example up preemptively that theoretically you could burn out on doing that. You could like establish or develop resentment that doesn't need to be there, you know because that person like gets used to or expects you to show up in a certain way just because you've made it seem like you're okay with showing up in that way indefinitely. I would say in this circumstance, like if this message is for you, you don't it's like you're going to be accepted or approved or in a commitment with whoever this is or whatever this is, regardless. Just like you and your authentic energy, like you on your worst day, is like you're still a match for whatever this is. So honestly, it would be better to just like, I don't know, I want to say like undersell yourself, but there's just like the sense that there is no need to sort of prove yourself in any way. Like it would be enough to, again, going with like the cooking example, like it's enough to just be like, oh yeah, like I know how to cook or whatever, so you don't have to worry about that. Maybe some days you will want to like share the task, or you want to just cook on special occasions, and you guys may like have the means to just like hire someone to cook for you. You know what I mean? So like, don't like, because this person may think that that's like a love language of yours, because whatever the situation is isn't toxic or anything. Like, it's giving that like you may be, I don't know, setting up a pattern of behavior that you want to do all the time, but it's not like realistic for you to be able to do this all the time. um and like, this person isn't going to try to take advantage of it. They may just be like, oh, this is the way this person shows love, so I should like allow them to do this for me or whatever. um because say if you like, it's the first year of your relationship with somebody, and then you like, you know you set up a habit of like getting them a gift every month, right? It's sort of like, it's not that they are taking advantage of you if in subsequent years they also expect to continue to get a gift from you every month. It's just that like, they may perceive it as like, oh, if they stop doing that pattern of behavior, that means they don't want me anymore, and that means that something is going wrong, because humans like pick up on pattern recognition to understand things or whatever. They're not being toxic. It's just that you sort of set up that pattern of behavior, and then like, if for some reason or another you just like lose your passion for doing that, or like you don't feel like you need to continue courting them because you already like had them locked down, so you kind of like slack on that. That could be, it's like, you know what I mean? It's sort of like, say you're like applying for a job, right? And you're like, oh, not only can I do everything in the job description, I can also do this, 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 and this, right? This also could have to do with like an internship, or I don't know, like something in school where you like take on more than you need to at the beginning of the semester. Like you volunteer for a bunch of extra stuff that you don't need to do, right? I would say it's better to sort of like take on more as time goes on than like, I understand the whole concept of wanting to like make a strong first impression, or like having a lot of excitement for the beginning of something. Again, like having a lot of excitement for the start of something, and like that excitement making you like giving you the energy to volunteer for a bunch of stuff. But like I would say that again, it's better to just sort of I don't know. Sorry, for some reason in like this empty ass parking lot everybody decided to park next to me, but anyway, yes, yeah, so I don't know. I guess the message is kind of like not necessarily a warning. Um, I think that it's just trying to reassure you that you don't have to overpromise things in order for this person or this like job or whatever to approve of you or think highly of you in some way. Like, so for example, because I don't know, like, and if it's not like a job or a relationship, it could just be if you are like, because some people can want to be stay-at-home moms in a non-toxic way, right? It's like you're free to do whatever you want, as long as you're taking care of yourself or whatever. But it's sort of like the sense that like, so say there's like somebody who wants to ask their husband if it's okay for them to become, a stay-at-home mom or something like that, and then they think that in order to get him to approve of this, they have to promise to do this and this and like everything. And I'm getting that like that's not necessary. There's something about like, I don't know, you are already a natural fit for whatever, even if it's not, I don't know, it's like you're already like naturally equipped or already going to be naturally like, again, like seen as a perfect fit for whatever position that you desire to have in like this area of your life, or even if it's like you desiring to be in someone's life. It could even have to do with like friendships and stuff like that, where early on, you guys kind of like make plans to go out and party and stuff like that all the time or whatever, but maybe you're not like naturally the sort of person who actually likes to spend that much time going out, or even just like you need your alone time, right? But maybe you're overly concerned with like establishing that friendship, but you have to do whatever, you would be willing and able to do long term in order to like maintain that connection, right? Because if it's not a good fit for you and like, so say you're an introvert but you want to be friends with this group of friends who like always go out, then maybe that's just like not a good fit for you, because if you already know that about them preemptively, um and you know that it's going to drain you, again, it's going to like breed resentment that doesn't need to be there long term for you if you're like always forcing yourself to meet up with people who kind of like are more extroverted than you, right? you know like you can still be acquaintances, but don't like set yourself up as somebody who like, because people can like, you know they can like label as you as whatever, as like, oh, they're unreliable, they're inconsistent, they made all these promises they can't keep. So I guess it's more about just like make sure that you are, I guess this could have to do with like, if you set up a workout routine and stuff like that, make sure you're not doing something that's going to like, make sure you're like setting up a plan, I guess, or like a system or whatever that you will be able to enjoy and continue doing long term, I guess, because like the most important thing here is the consistency in this, in like the sustainability of whatever this is. Like obviously at the beginning of your whole work fitness journey, you may be gung ho about like, oh yeah, this is use like a hyperbolic example, but like, oh, I'm gonna walk 5 hours a day. Like, are you always gonna be able to like walk 5 hours a day? You know what I mean? Like, do something that like set a base parameter or whatever that you will actually be able to do even on the days where you don't feel like it, and then obviously you can like fluctuate that and like increase it if you need to. Um so I guess mainly just like there's no need to oversell yourself or like do too much, because even just like whatever is a comfortable level for you in whatever regard that this applies to is going to like produce the results that you desire in some way.